Why do Jamaican players struggle to improve? Join Premier 7 right now for the Big Chat. Greetings and welcome to another episode here on Premier 7. I am your host, Ryan Nelson, trusting and hoping that you guys are having a wonderful time. But if not, this channel is here to even assist in improving your day. The fact is that I am here to present on a very important topic, not to say on the Jamaica men's national team, but surrounding the cultural aspects as to how Jamaicans play football. And the topic here is why Jamaican players struggle to improve ball ground mentality. So, note briefly, you will see me looking down and up because I have my notes here to make my presentation be better. Now, the thing is, I have to just let it be known that Jamaica football doesn't struggle because of talent. It struggles because of mentality, and it starts right at the ball ground. The truth is, before players even reach a coach, their habits are already formed, and that is exactly what I am going to talk about today. If you listened carefully, I mentioned talent is not a problem. Jamaica is blessed with talents. Jamaica is blessed with many youngsters who have the ability to excel and go very far in the game. But the mentality is one of the biggest issue. Because the thing is, before you can even play for a team, before you can even be coached, why do you think scouting is important? Why do you think persons are being looked and watched and then they are introduced to a particular club because of how they perform? Now, the thing is, a lot of us are not on certain levels that we hope and believe that we could be on, but everything starts with you. And I mean, this is something personal because I am not here to really talk about coaches or, let's say, player profiles. I think you guys would have got the gist already of what I am about. So it has to be clear that I am not here to point fingers or to blame anyone personally because this is coming from my real experience. My real experience is that of playing football on the football field, indeed, but at the scrimmage level. And maybe some persons would not be interested to hear what I'm saying because I may not be the highest or the biggest name on social media. But just give me a few time of your time to listen because I hate to see poor football. All right. So the thing is, I live in Jamaica and I have traveled to numerous places. And when I look on how a lot of players or youths go about in applying their footballing IQ in the game, it is really poor. And that links to the pattern of play. That links to how they go about in taking instructions. That even links to how they see themselves as persons. Want to see Jamaican players or Jamaicans become better at football, so the message have to be shared. One of the pointers here is a lack of preparation. So one of the things that I have observed is that when some of these youths they arrive at the ball field, they don't have any shoes. And it's not a case to say, oh, because they're poor. No, it's a case of saying they can do better. When I used to play football now, I used to play with my slippers on my hand, right? On my hand. And yes, I may not have the money at that point in time, or I didn't have the support, but getting older and older, when I start going to the football ground at an age that I will not say being the same as that of the past, I saw guys with their footballing shoes. And I watch football with some other guys and see best of the best on the football field properly suited. So I said to myself, boy, see me get one shoes. And I went through numerous shoes until I, you know, have a good football shoes. Now, then again, back to the dress code. I can understand skins, apart from the skins, pants below waist, shirt no look good. And at the end of the day, some of you guys want to play football. No, can't work so. You guys are watching the football, but you're not living what the football is saying. Because if you don't take preparation serious at the lowest level, how will you take it serious if you get an opportunity? A lot of guys, they do come to the ball ground, and the first thing is that they want to kick the ball. I have my days, but being professional, it has to be a professional mentality from the ball ground. So when I go to the ball field at times, I will do a little bit of jogging, a little bit of stretches before I even kick the ball. Because that is what I have seen at the highest level of football. But more in depth, back to back, I have to talk more on communication and respect. It is one of the major issues in Jamaica. Too often, simply moments turns into arguments. I talk about myself now because I am not a perfect person. I am not going to come here on YouTube pretending as if I am, oh, I never make mistakes. I have made mistakes. And the thing is, I know I am more good than bad. And if you cannot tell yourself that, then you need some work. Back to the football, the simplest things turns out into argument. A man say, oh, I run right, man. Make the run instead. Brother go is your mother. Brother, chop what the man, chop what the man. Yo, man, now that no, come here depend that. You're not gonna win a football, brother. No, you're not go. I have seen it several times. I am like a coach, I don't have the license, but I have the mentality of what a proper footballer should be. So when I'm playing on my team, I will applaud the oppositions. I will say, yo, come on, do that better for your team. Work as a team. I could just go to the ball ground and say nothing. But because I only have a few days out of the week to play football, I will not go there and make my football be a waste of time. I mean, the thing is, war, fights, arguments on the pitch, it will create confusion, and of course, it will build more chaos. Malice, the football itself is being killed at that stage. And instead of teamwork, there is ego. Man want proof per football pitch. Man no want pass ball, no man want break on the whole field. Don't try to be a professional if you're not applying or doing the basics correct. You have to do the basics right first before you can think about doing other things, But I hope that this message can go far for a lot of youths to understand the game. I think I have passed the age in terms of football now. I wanted to play cricket. It never happened, but if I can help others to reach that level, I have to do so. And my platform is here to talk about football to help the youths. So if players cannot speak properly to each other, and when I say speak English, the patois can work, but it is the tone. The tone says a lot. So if you cannot do so correctly on the ball ground, it becomes even harder when structure is introduced. Another point is style of play, and I shed a few lights on that a few seconds ago. It is disgusting football when you have one player here, one player there, and you boot the ball long, or you try to take on one, two, three, four other players without passing the ball to your teammates. Do you know how important it is with movements in the game of football? Why do you think Barcelona was so good back then? Why do you think they were so good with tiki taka? Because of movements. Movement says a lot. You know, tight spaces. You have seen many players dance through tight spaces, and you may be saying, boy, you can't do that, But when you try it, you're awful. Nothing is wrong in terms of keep on trying such, but why not try to train to do it than to say when you're playing with your teammates, you decide to do that every game. You're killing the players, man. You're killing the style of play, you're killing the system of play, and you're killing the team. Keep the basics simple or try to master the basics before you try to do the world class stuff. It's when I go Ballground, I try to do the basics right. I don't have to score any goals, I play defense. I don't have to play defense, but discipline says a lot in football. I learn how to improve in terms of making the simple passes and don't try to overdo things. Because when you overdo the football, you know what happens? You're going to miss out in terms of scoring more goals. You're going to miss out in terms of having respect gained from other persons. So the style of play can be better because at the end of the day, when structure is added to football, it is more difficult. Back to the ball ground. When I'm playing football, I am always at defense. Not because I have important things to do, but because of the mentality. A friend of mine who supports Arsenal stated that there's no team that will be successful without two proper centre backs. Why do you think Arsenal is performing well now? Why do you think City won so many titles? Why do you think other teams have done the same? Because of defense. Mourinho, he is one of my favorite coaches. I'm a United fan, regular Man United under Ferguson's management, but I have learned from Mourinho. Discipline says a lot. If you're not willing to defend, you will not play in his system. I'm not talking about no parking the bus. I'm not in the parking of bus mentality. Where there's a need to, it has to happen. But no one likes to defend is a big problem. And it starts at where you are at. Skimmage football. The ballroom mentality. Everybody wants to play forward, Everybody wants to get the ball and showboat. But no one likes to defend. A friend of mine who played defense together. And there was a point in time they called us the wall at the ball ground because it's not that it's not like we're the best players in football history or at the football ground, but defensively we're the better team because of the fact that we believe in defending our goals. Even if it is one goal, defend, defend, defend. Players at the front, come back and defend. And rotation, is important. Learn to defend and rotate. Everybody wants to score goals. No one likes to assist or to help each other. But guess what? When a man makes a mistake, it is one of the biggest problems that anyone can draw for. And in that case, people, this is what affects real development. I am not here to defend anybody now. I'm not here to say I'm a supporter of the JFF or Rudolph Speed or whatever the case is, but I'm here to support the football. Remember, if you want to reach somewhere in football and persons are watching you, you have to think about doing the right thing. And how this affects real development is because when persons see that you're indisciplined, when persons see that you're lacking in terms of taking correction, same thing as in discipline, they will not choose you on your team. No coaches will go for players at the highest level who is not willing to do the basics right. A typical example of Turkey. playing for Man City against Arsenal in a particular competition. When he was showboating, did you saw what Pep did? Pep shook his head like he must say, yo, what am I do? That is a simple thing. They want players who they can put in their system to win the games, because if a coach doesn't win games, they will be fired. Pep Guardiola said it himself. So the big issue is that the habits that you practice at the ball ground and how you go about in doing same, like if you want to get further in life, it will affect you massively. Because the thing is, football at the highest level is not all about on the pitch. It is also off the pitch, in the classroom. So, when you're even getting a chance to go to school, take in on your education and try to balance things. Because I will not disrespect somebody who doesn't disrespect me, but I will not beat down a guy who tries. I will applaud you for your effort, but if you're going to waste time, come off of the field. Come off of the field. So when a coach introduces structure, discipline, and tactics, the expectations, right? It will feel difficult because you never have that mentality in wanting to even learn to do the basics right. So the bad habits is what you put in your mind and you develop and continue with it. So if you're going to go on the football pitch and you're going to do what you feel like, we're going to beat you. We're going to hot tail you. So I hope that you guys respect and love this video. It was on my chest to say, because when we go about, man, we're not ramping up. I will laugh and I will be a teammate, and I'm not the person who will beat down anyone, but the football have to be better, man. So I talk about the topic, why Jamaican players struggle to improve the ball ground mentality. Talk about the fact that coming on the football pitch, you have to come with a prepared mentality. You have to come appropriately dressed. Shoes, clothing, one by an armband or whatever, come with the intention to play the football properly. And that will psychologically affect others. Communication and respect is a big issue in Jamaica, in the football. The SM other thing now go work, Yo, boy, me now move because I just me play on the field now. That now go work, Work as a team. The style of play without discipline, when structure is applied, you're not going to win a football because you don't try to do the basics right. Of course, again, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Premier 7. The goal is to 3,000 subscribers. So it's time for me to go. Let me hear your thoughts. You all take care. Goodbye. Until we meet again.